Hello, Golden Tour Nation. It is July, but the 25-26 school year is right around the corner. And like I do every year, I just wanted to send out a before school video to cover several things. The most important thing is always welcome back. We're excited to see all of our kids. I get to see quite a few of them throughout the summer. The high school kids that are working, the younger kids out and about, but we look forward to seeing you back. I feel like summers get shorter and shorter every year. For kids, they've always been short for teachers. They never existed for coaches or administrators, but I feel like even for kids, they start to get shorter and shorter. And we're starting school super early this year. And we all know we adopted a 4-day week calendar. Now, not every week is a 4-day week, but to make sure you know when they are and they are not, I have attached a school calendar to this announcement. The first day of school for our young people is August 6th. Now, that doesn't mean teachers, and I'm assuming some teachers will watch this as well because they are parents of some of you. Uh, our first year teachers come back next week, I believe. If I'm sending this, I'm planning on sending this on Sunday night, which means I've got about 8 days till our new teachers show up. Our admin team, they don't get summers off, so we've been working hard. Our custodial maintenance team has been getting all of our campuses ready to rock and roll. But new teachers show up next Wednesday and Thursday, and then everybody else shows up Friday, and then all the kids show up on Wednesday, August 6th. So we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we're off on that Monday. We did this last year. We moved convocation. We have 3 days of school and then have convocation, and we really liked it. And one of the reasons I like it is because when you have new teachers, we tell them all these things in the days before school starts, but until you actually had school days with kids, none of it makes sense to you. And so just putting those 3 days in there and then coming back and having a convocation where we can visit with our staff again, it kind of helps our young teachers be like, oh, that's what you were talking about. So I say all that to say school calendar is attached, and your first day of school is August 6th. And then you're off the 11th for that convocation, and then you go for, what is it, 15 straight days. About you have 1 week where there's no days off, and then we get close to Labor Day, and we took both ends of Labor Day off, and then after that is kind of when the 4-day weeks start. So things to know. School supply lists have been on our website for a while now, so whatever grade your student is in, please look at that. There will be a school supply drive happen pretty quickly. I want to say it is the Saturday or Sunday before school starts typically. We will have another block party, which that was a lot of fun last year. We are having it the night before school starts, really the afternoon before school starts. We're going to have it kind of early in the afternoon, early evening. I think we're going to start around 4:30 and end around 6 or 6:30. That way you have time to come after work, but you also have time to get home. I know the day before school was always, especially when Hayden and Logan were smaller, it was a big day. And so we wanted to make sure that all the families have that time at home with their kids the night before the first day of school. But at the same time, we wanted to see everybody. We'll cook hot dogs like we did last year. We'll have some stuff to do, some stuff to go on. If you came last year, I hope it is equal, if not better. And if you didn't come last year, I hope you come down. It'll be down on the square. And it's literally just a kickoff for the school year to let everybody know how excited we are to have everybody be Golden Tornadoes. So there are some changes coming this year, and people that know me know I don't have social media, but people send me posts off social media all the time. So I have seen the other schools that have started to get out some of the communication to their districts, and there's a few minor ones that I will speak on quickly here, but then there's one major one that I'm going to go a little bit further into. So every 2 years, the Texas legislature gets together and they meet for a long time. And then when they're done, they pass a whole bunch of laws that not just public education, but everybody has to follow. But it's kind of divided up. Well, they did more passing of laws for public education than honestly they've done in a while. They did pass some funding down, which is great. And then, of course, the federal government turned around and took some of that away, which is not great, but that's not your problem. That's my problem. The two biggest ones that to me change, because I want to make sure when your student comes home and says something, uh, that you have a little bit of foundation to know what they're talking about. So one of the big changes was prayer in school. So um, if you've been around for a while, if you've had older kids go through school, if you have worked in a school, if you've coached, that saying the word prayer and having prayer in school has not always been something that has been accepted. There's always been a separation of religion and public education. Mandatory, not our choice. It's something that we have been asked to do. So, like you see coaches and people pray before games, but you don't see it during the school day. Well, this is the first time the legislature has kind of reopened the doors to have prayer back in our school. Now, it's not forced prayer, and it's not in the sense of every single morning someone's going to come over the loudspeaker and lead a prayer, but the word prayer can be used in school again. And we've always had a moment of silence. Again, that is something that is mandated by the state. Now, that moment of silence can be a moment of prayer, a moment of if a student wants to read their Bible, they can do that. And it is no longer something that we cannot allow, because that's what it was. We could not allow that to happen. Now we can. Now it is tricky. We, as school employees, cannot facilitate prayer. We cannot lead prayer, but we can use the word prayer. It's a weird thing. And I know the part of this that I think, if you don't pay attention to the legislature, that would catch me off guard if I was a parent, is when your student comes home and tells you that there is a poster on our wall that has the 10 Commandments. And it is Senate Bill 11, and it is the same one. They put all of the prayer religion stuff into one bill, but every single school, campus, classroom in the state of Texas, and again, this is not Lamesa stuff, this is the state of Texas, has to have a 16 by 20 copy of the 10 Commandments on every wall of every classroom. So ours are all going to look the same. Y'all know Frankie Salceda can do anything. I have tasked him with creating one that meets the requirements of Senate Bill 11, and it'll be in every classroom. Now, again, it's not going to be something that every single day that's the first thing all of our students read. It's not going to be something that our teachers are like, make sure you read your 10 Commandments every day, but it does have to be posted. They even told us the exact text that it had to be posted in, the size of it. And again, this is mandatory. It's a law. So if your kid comes home and says, hey, Mr. Ritchie has the 10 Commandments on the wall, well, he does, and he has to. So that was one that it's a small thing, but I can definitely see our students coming home and being like, hey, we've never had the 10 Commandments on our walls, and now we do. The other one is going to definitely be harder for us all to adapt to. And I believe it was maybe House Bill 1481. There are so many, guys, I lose track of which ones are which. But the state of Texas has banned cell phones during the school day anywhere on school grounds. This is the one that I've seen other districts start to put out on just a statement on their social medias or on their website that basically make their communities, their parents, their students know that cell phones are prohibited during school hours on school grounds by the state of Texas. I'm torn on this. And I think that I could have just put something out just like everybody else because it is a law that we are going to follow. But I think that I wanted to make sure that the human aspect gets attached to this because I understand that there are good things that cell phones do. And as a superintendent, I'm going to do what the law tells me to do. As a classroom teacher, I'm probably going to be kind of happy about it because I will tell you, cell phones are a fairly large distraction. As a school administrator, I think what I'm going to be most excited about is that it is going to at least slow down the cyberbullying, because I will tell you that is hands down the most common form of bullying in this day and age is the cyberbullying. So if students don't have their phones, that's going to cut all that down. So I do see the good things about it. Flip side, I'm a parent and I have two sons, and uh, from the just comfortable aspect of I can promise you I'm getting a text from both of my sons during their lunch every day that I'm going to miss that. But also, I mean, we all know we live in a world where bad things happen, and to know that they're not going to have their cell phones, it does bother me a little bit. I'm not mad at anybody because I understand those superintendents over there have to do the same thing that I have to do. We got to follow the law. That being said, I do want the community to know we're not looking at skirting the law. I don't leave this thinking, hey, Richie's going to try to be the only school in the state of Texas that doesn't do this. Not true. I'm going to do it because I'm a rule follower. But I do understand, and we are working on policies and procedures to make sure that we are crystal clear with how you can get a hold of your kid if you need to. And it's not, let's be honest, it's not going to be open communication all day long. We're not going to let kids go down to the office and just pull up a chair and just get on the phone and chat all day long. That being said, I do recognize, I recognize it. I recognize the uneasiness that I think that will cause you as a parent. And so I don't know exactly what I mean when I say we're going to look and see how we can at least make you feel comfortable, but we're going to do the best we can. One thing I do know is that we have added phones over the last 3 years. We've added phones in almost every classroom. That's not for our kids, but it is for our teachers, because cell phones don't always work. And we've got some places that cell phones don't work great. So we wanted our teachers to always have a way to make sure that they can communicate if there's an issue, if there's a problem, if there's a minor problem, but most importantly, if there's a major problem. So I do know we're ahead of the curve on that. I do think we've got good systems in place. Unfortunately or fortunately, almost every parent in this community has my cell phone, and I'll get random texts during the day. Hey, I heard this was going on. Is my baby okay? Is my kid okay? And, I always go out of my way to make sure I text back. Typically when we have an ambulance outside of one of our schools, once everything's solved, or when I say ambulance, typically when we have anything with flashing lights outside of our campuses, I try to get it out on social media that everything's okay. Rarely can I say why those vehicles are there, because that would be, infringing on someone's private rights. That being said, I do try to put something out that just makes all of you know everything's cool, everything's fine. We've got the SROs on every campus. We do door checks throughout the day to make sure that the doors are locked. We do a lot of good things. I just also understand there's something to be said for being able to pick this up and text Hayden, say, hey, I saw something on the news. Are you good? And that is, in a sense, going to go away. Not in a sense, it is going to go away because we have to prohibit cell phone usage. And But at the same time, we're going to go above and beyond as a school district to make sure that we put our parents as much at ease as possible while still following that law. So I hope you watched this whole video. I am going to put out some sort of written statement because not everybody sits through these. But I hope that if someone doesn't watch this and they call you up and be like, can you believe this? Tell them, hey, watch that video because Richie will kind of explain it. Again, it's no different than anything. When there's a law, we got to follow it. But I always do try to look at things from a superintendent, a classroom teacher, a secretary, a board member, but also a parent. And yeah, I'm a little disturbed, not disturbed. I'm a little uneasy, but I'm going to trust that the school district where my sons go is going to do the same thing that we're going to do here. And that's do the best we can to make our parents feel as good as they can. So yes, cell phones will be prohibited on school grounds during school hours. So what does that mean for extracurricular? Whatever the extracurricular coach wants it to mean. Yes, they can have their phones. I will tell you, my sons have to, when they get on the bus, they got to give their phone to their sponsor already. They've been doing that for years. But this does not carry over to bus rides unless the coach wants it to carry over or the sponsor wants it to carry over. This is strictly during school. And yes, it means during lunch. It means during passing periods. It means any time of day on school grounds during school hours. So it's a big deal. And I understand it's a big deal. And yeah, I just want all of y'all to understand that I understand that it's a big deal, and we'll do everything we can to make it as smooth and easy as we can on everybody involved. Thank you guys. I'm excited to see all your youngins. I hope we have a fantastic year. I always hope we have a fantastic year. And you'll get some sort of communication from your campus. This is big picture. You'll get something from our new South Elementary principal, Dr. Sue Starr. You'll get something from Ms. Griffin, Dr. Griffin. Now she got her doctorates over the summer, so it is Dr. Griffin now at North. Ms. Jasper, you will get something from her, and then you will get something from Mr. Ginsburg at high school. And those things we'll talk about, any changes to drop off and pick up, school day, school minutes, what time kids got to be there, all of that good stuff. This is just the big picture stuff. And again, welcome back to the 25-26 school year. Go Tours. It's going to be a fantastic year. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. And man, I can't wait to see all of y'all. Go Tours.